the House of Representatives has voted to impeach President Trump for a second time. The final vote was 232 in favor. That includes 10 Republicans. Let's listen back in.
1B of House Resolution 8. The House stands adjourned until 11 a.m. on Friday, January 15th, 2021.
All right, so the House is adjourned until January 15th. To recap, the House of Representatives just voted to impeach President Donald J. Trump for the second time. This time it was a bipartisan vote. 232 members of the House, including 10 Republicans, voted to impeach President Trump. The vote against was 197. There were 5 members of Congress who did not vote. This is the most bipartisan impeachment vote in the history of the United States. This is more bipartisan than the impeachment vote of any previous president. And I should note that in addition to the Republicans who voted, Abby, to impeach the president, there are a number of Republicans who did not vote to impeach the president, but laid the blame for the terrorist attack at his feet, including, for instance, Congressman Chip Roy of Texas, who said he wasn't going to vote for impeachment because he was concerned about the way that the resolution was written, but that he did blame President Trump for the incident.
And even Kevin McCarthy, who, as we've discussed, was part of this conspiracy to spread lies about the election, but as a close ally of President Trump's, said today the president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on the Capitol. That is the clearest that we've heard from someone in that position of leadership, the House Minority Leader on the Republican side. Not leaving Liz Cheney alone, by the way. They agree on that. Liz Cheney and Kevin McCarthy agree that the president is fully responsible for this. I also think we're about to enter a phase, the Senate side, as we go into the Senate trial here, where we don't know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. There has not been a whole lot of information about where the majority of Republicans in that chamber stand on this issue of impeachment. Mitch McConnell has made it very clear he's open to it. And if the New York Times and our reporting is correct, he even privately might believe that impeachment is appropriate in this moment. But the fact that he's letting it be known, pretty much on the record, that he has not made a decision about whether he would vote to convict or not is a huge red flag for President Trump that could indicate that in the Senate he could face a very different situation from what he faced the last time around. The Senate is typically not as staunchly conservative and Trumpian and partisan as the House is, and so I think we can expect some surprises on that side.
Yeah, and with regard to what we saw just now, 10 Republicans saying, yes, I want to impeach the president who is in our own party. It may not seem like a huge number. It's not when you think about the entire Republican caucus, but these are 10 Republicans who did what they thought was right, but what is politically the much harder decision to make.
Right.
Much harder.
That's a great point.
And, it's easy to say, I condemn the president, but I'm not going to vote for impeachment. That's the easy political route to take. Those 10 did something that is very, very hard. And, we'll see what happens. I mean, sometimes with these issues, with the benefit of time and more information, the votes that these 10 have taken today will look smarter and smarter and smarter.
And two
that's
of them
what they're relying on.
We should point out, 2 of them, I believe, are freshmen, are first-year members. Congresswoman Butler of Washington, Herrera Butler, and Congressman Mayer of Michigan.
Herrera Butler is not a freshman.
She's not a freshman. I'm sorry. Well, then it's 1.
But it is the congressman from New York. I think you're referring to
Catco?
David Vallado is it?
No, David Valadao is from California. He's a freshman, but he had held the seat previously. He was beat by T.J. Cox, and then he just beat T.J. Cox. Anyway, let's just talk about Mayer then.
Yeah.
Okay. Congressman Mayer of Michigan, Republican. He took the seat of Justin Amash. Mm-hmm. That is a really tough vote for a freshman. Mm-hmm. But he, in his statement, made it very clear. You can't have presidents of the United States inciting terrorist attacks on the Capitol. On one level, it's kind of amazing that it wasn't a unanimous vote, especially considering the fact that all of these members of Congress,
seems obvious.
except for the potential co-conspirators who we don't, who might exist, that all of them were really at risk. I mean, that mob was out for blood, literally. They were chanting